and start to build the actual individual pieces. And so for this one, we want to build a shirt. So what I'm going to do is make a copy of this, just control drag it down, and I'm going to turn off the visibility of the initial one just by turning the spotlight red, or this stoplight red rather. And let's call this something like shirt. And then I just want to go in and I'm going to delete any of the polygons that we don't want included in the shirt. And so if I want it to come kind of right above the elbow, so let me actually add, using the knife, a loop right where I want to cut it. And now I can come in and select those polygons. Let me get a rectangle selection and just drag across those. Okay, and then I can come in and delete the hand out of there. Now I also want to cut it, and there's actually, you can tell where the seam is, it's kind of right there. And so that is kind of the line that I want to get rid of there, so we'll go ahead and delete that, and then I can delete the leg as well. Remember, we still have that other piece here. Okay, so now that we've done that, let's add any detail that we think we want to add that's going to be symmetrical. So let's say that we want to have a little bit of detail here on the sleeve. So let's use the knife. We'll add a loop kind of right in here. Let's also take this edge, and I just want to give a little bit of thickness here. So let's select the loop, and I want to select the edge loop. There we go. And let's do an extrude. And I want to pull this straight in, so I'm going to change this edge angle down to around 90 degrees. So we get something like that. Now, if we want to get kind of a raised seam here, we can select the face loop and do an extrude out like that. Okay, and if we want to tighten it up, then it's just a matter of using the knife to add loops there. And let's just leave it like that. Okay, so now let's take our shirt and let's start to make the symmetrical shirt, make the other side of it. Let's make sure and check and just see that everything is connected like it should be. We'll take that symmetry and let me just say make editable, so it kind of bakes it down. Now I want to do sort of a collar. And so I can take this top edge and let's sort of take this down a little bit. I'm going to deselect these edges right here. There we go. And now let's do an extrude. And I just want to kind of pull this straight up. Oops. There we go. Until it kind of comes around the neck there. And we can extend that neck down a little bit too. Just make sure that that's close. Doesn't have to be exact, but just something close. And then I'll take this neck piece, this front piece down, and maybe turn it into a little bit more of a rounded off opening there. You can see all these leftover points. Those can always be gotten rid of by going to optimize. Okay, now we can go back to our neck, and if we can just grab those bottom bits, we can kind of pull that down. Now back to our shirt. Let's come in and add a little bit more detail around the chest area. And if you want to do some sort of wrinkles coming across here, you'll just need a few extra lines, and then you can come in and select those points, just as we did with the face. And you can get more complex with these, but we're staying pretty simple with this design. Just kind of pull this out a little, and you just want these sort of alternating lines here. So something like that. Now you also want to add thickness up here. Anywhere we have these exposed edges, we want to add thickness to those. Okay, so let's go to edge. Let's select a loop. And we want to select a boundary. So we'll select this entire thing. And then we'll do an extrude on that. Again, with around 90 degrees selected there. And then let's do one more. And for this, let's change this angle so it's in. And then we can just sort of pull it in. Okay, and then we do want it to sort of be, we don't want a lot of open areas in here where it's where the geometry is not penetrating. And so let's kind of take this out a little bit to kind of fill up that space. Now, if we grab another subdivision surface and we put the shirt in it, you can see it's going to really smooth out that color. So if you want to tighten that up, all you have to do is use your knife. So let me grab the knife and we'll add a loop right in here, kind of tighten that up, and then right up here, kind of tighten that area. Okay, so something like that. And then if you want to, you can do like the same thing we did with this piece. You can do the same thing up here at the top of the collar. So that gives us our sort of shirt, which we've got it named. And we still have the rest of our body there. Okay, so we're not going to need the body underneath, but we can get rid of that coming up in the next lesson. So we've got our head and our shirt. So the next thing that we want to do